Oh, look, I got mail. What's going on, guys?
It is way too nasty to ride bikes today. And if you wonder what a mountain biker does on days that you can't ride your bike, well, I've been doing homework for a couple hours and I just wanted to check the mail and I had a package that I've been waiting on for so long I actually forgot about. So we're gonna entertain ourselves and work on my helmet. Let me tell you what this is. This is what I have, and this is actually a mount for my GoPro, and you're probably wondering, Sammy, I've seen you with so many GoPro videos, like, why do you need another mount? I will explain. It's gonna solve a problem that I've had for as long as I've been using this camera. On a mountain bike helmet, there's a pretty limited number of places that you can actually mount a GoPro. You can either put it on the top like this, or you can put it under the visor like this. On some helmets, you can actually mount it on the helmet underneath the visor. But if you notice, my helmet has an adjustment for the visor right there, so there's not enough room to mount it. And if you put a GoPro on top of the helmet, it's just looking straight at the visor and you don't really see anything. Usually what I end up doing is actually mounting my GoPro on my chest, which works actually really well because it's looking out, so you see the bike and you also see the trail. The problem is when it's not on your helmet, it's not looking down on the bike, so it's kind of hard to see tricks, and the GoPro is not following my head movement. And the issue with the chest mount is because it's directly on my body, every vibration that my body takes is also going to the GoPro. So when you mount cameras on your head, your neck acts like a stabilizer and your head's way more stable, so the footage looks better, and it also follows wherever I look. Now, the reason that I don't mount my camera underneath my visor, it looks like it clears the helmet and it's not too in your way. You're actually not looking out of a helmet like this. When you're wearing a mountain bike helmet, you're leant over on the bike and you're kind of looking upwards, and your line of sight's basically right against your visor. So whenever you have a GoPro hanging down, it actually protrudes in your vision quite a bit. But with one of my previous full face helmets, it had a flat front, and because it was flat, I was able to hot glue on a GoPro mount and actually attach my GoPro to the chin of the helmet. And that's the best angle I ever had. It was on my helmet, so the GoPro followed wherever my head looked. My neck was acting like a stabilizer, so the footage was more steady than it is on your chest, and it was completely out of my line of sight. And also being mounted down here, it distributed the weight better over my helmet instead of it being up top and making the helmet really top heavy. Now, I can't do that with this helmet because it's got a little triangle piece right there. So what I've gotten is a custom molded mount that actually attaches to the chin of my helmet and follows this little shape here. I've never used one of these. I've seen like maybe 3 or 4 of them in the wild. I haven't seen very many at all. I'm not gonna be able to test ride it today because it's just too nasty. We're gonna crack this package open. Here's some zip ties. I think those are actually going to be important because if you look at this mount, it doesn't have quite as much space as a normal GoPro mount does. Let me see if I have one here. So this is a normal GoPro sticky mount, and you see how much surface area the 3M tape covers, and this is this mount. I think for an extra precaution, just to make sure that you don't lose your camera, which is really important, these zip ties are provided, which, oh look, they actually have little slots they slide through. So they have little holes that they poke through, and you can actually poke your zip tie through the camera mount like that and zip tie it onto your helmet for some extra security. Inside of the chin bar, this helmet is actually foam, and if you crash straight on and hit your face directly like that, as your head moves inside the helmet, it'll hit this soft foam right there, and it'll like keep your face nice and protected. And I was reading a comment on a video that one guy had put the zip ties, and he'd put the little nub of the zip tie on the inside of his helmet, and he had a crash like that where he hit his face and the 2 little zip ties pierced his lip. And I really don't want a dual lip piercing if I have a crash. So I'm gonna make sure that I mount the little nubbins of these zip ties on the outside of my helmet and not on the inside. My helmet will still have all of its very important safety features. Look how well it's molded to the peak of the helmet. It's gonna fit perfectly. My GoPro and this mount actually are able to mount directly together, so I can take a whole piece off. This adds a lot of bulk. You can now get rid of it. Peel one side off and peel the other side off, just like that. That looks to be it right there. So we're gonna squeeze it down. Oh, look how good that fits. That did perfectly. Let's get these zip ties on. There's one. Oh yeah, that feels really secure. Check it out, guys. There's a blue sky. The sun's out. So we are back for an incredible day. It's actually been since about 4 days since the last clip I filmed. It's just been raining. It was pretty depressing. Some soaking mud in the yard. I'm excited to do some fun stuff. In fact, I need to do a backflip right now. So good. Stuck the landing, and oh, what's this? Wait, let's go check this out. Is that my helmet up there? Let's go look at this. What would my helmet be doing on my quarter pipe? I don't even know. So what could this possibly be doing here? Oh yeah, that's right. I just put a new chin mount on. I did not get a chance to properly test out the new chin mount that I put on this helmet, and I've been super stoked about it all week, like every day. So we're gonna get some bikes out and we're gonna do some stuff. I think I might ride this quarter pipe, but we have to do some proper testing. What do you need to do to test a action camera mount? Hey chat, I put a new chin mount for my GoPro on my helmet and I want to test it out. What kind of bike riding should I do?
Testing out your new chin mount on your helmet sounds exciting. Since you have a quarter pipe, a dirt jump, and a bike trail, you could try a mix of activities to capture different angles. You could start with some dirt jumps to get some action shots. Then try the quarter pipe for some tricks or airtime. And finally, head to the bike trail for some smooth, scenic riding.
Got a little berm there.
This will give you a variety of footage to see how the mount handles different riding styles. Have fun and stay safe.
Have fun and stay safe. Hey, thank you so much, ChatGPT. That's exactly what we're gonna do. Let's get started. I did my fast change into my biking gear, got all my pads on, so now it's time to mount this GoPro up on this helmet. I don't even need a clicky adapter, it just goes straight onto the helmet. And we just gotta slap the little bolt in here. Just like that, this GoPro is mounted. So I did mount it on the bottom like this. So this is what happens if you mount it up top. The back of the GoPro actually hits the mount, so that's as far as it can angle. So it's already angled down, and when you ride, your helmet's usually pointed down like that. So the GoPro is just gonna be looking straight down at the bike seat. I am riding with the Max Lens mod, so it should be pretty wide. It should be in a good spot. Let's go get the bikes out and see how this does. So as ChatGPT suggested, we pulled out the dirt jump bike, and we're gonna hit at my dirt jump, which is right back there. With the camera mount on my chin, it's not like on my visor or somewhere that I kind of know where it's pointing. So I pulled out my GoPro app to try and figure out exactly how it should be angled. The only issue so far that I've noticed is when I'm standing up straight, not riding, and I lean my head down, the camera kind of hits my chest. As soon as you're on the bike and you're leaning over it, yeah, the camera's never even gonna touch me. So talk about a 360. I think another benefit of this might be putting the camera closer to my mouth. So even despite wind noise, you'll still be able to hear my narration, my talking. Not that I'm saying anything that important when I ride my bike. So GoPros aren't the lightest action cameras, and when they're on top of the visor, it's a lot of pulling weight down. But on the chin, it's more like a hanging weight that actually makes it feel a lot more pleasant to have on my head. And like doing the tricks, it makes the whole helmet feel a lot lighter than having the camera mounted up higher. So I really like that. This 360 is feeling nice because it feels like I'm pushing less weight with my head when I try to turn. See if we can give a tug no hander a go. The camera is probably going to be way too close down to the bike to actually see my hands coming off. So we'll test it out. Filming tug no handers from my POV is always a challenge because if it's on my chest, and when I tuck the bike up into my chest, it's literally right on the camera, and you kind of bump the lens. And if the camera is on your head, that's kind of where the front tire is, so you're looking at a front tire. Maybe on the chin it'll be a little bit better, but I have zero hopes for this, honestly. It's not anything to do with the camera mount or the camera or anything. It's just doing a tuck no hander puts the bike out of the direction of your eyes and of literally anywhere you can mount a camera on your own body. Tug no hander. The ground's still slippery, and when I pedal in, I can kind of feel my rear wheel slipping. Oh yeah, I don't even know if you guys can see that. I'm so interested to watch this footage. I guess that's why we're doing the test. Here, let's do a table down this. Flat. Well, the dirt jump has proved successful. I actually really like how this mount felt. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ride the quarter pipe, and then after the quarter pipe, we'll park this one and pull out the trail bike. I've also got to move this tree today. In fact, that could be the final test for the GoPro mount. Can it work on a tractor moving a tree? My favorite tricks are toboggan and tables, and I've also started doing knack inverts. I'm not sure what the trick's called. It's like an inverted table, but you're also doing knack. So we're just gonna play around on the ramp and see how this camera mount performs. Get a good drop in there. Here, let's jump over this. We'll do a little table. Wow. Oh, straight to flat. I obviously went way too fast. Let's do a half cab. The light and the shadows that get cast on the quarter pipe always look so cool to me. Do a toboggan first go. That was pretty good. Let's manual this. Oh yeah. Next up, I think we'll go in for a table. Those always look pretty good. I need to do an alley-oop to test out how the camera looks on that. Manual this again. Whoop. Pop off the edge. Alley-oop is up next. Might do an alley-oop tire grab. That's the fun trick. The fun thing about doing alley-oops is you're basically just over-rotating a 180, but the landing starts out on your right side and it ends up on your left side. We'll do a little knack and then hop off this bike and pull out the big boy. Oh yeah. Oh, that trick's so fun. I love that. So I think we've been testing out the chin mount pretty good. We've been doing some tricks. Like, how good is the visibility from the chin mount of the bike when you're doing tricks, when you're in the air, when you got some hang time? Now I've pulled out the big rig and we're gonna send it down my bike trail. I haven't ridden this in a while, so it might be completely coated in leaves and sticks. I don't know what to expect. How does this angle do for like seeing the bike and the trail? Can you see the trees all around you? Does it look like you're going fast? Let's give it a shot. Here we go. Go into the woods. Try not to hit the trees. Got some little stuff to pop. Little berm there, little berm there. Jump into that turn while I went out in the leaves. I felt like that was so nice. I keep talking about this, but the weight of the camera feels so much better down here. Let's go do something stupid real quick. Well, I said we were gonna do something that might not be the smartest, and this is it. Full 29er enduro bike. I brought it down to the dirt jump. See if we can pull a 360. This is gonna be pretty awesome. I haven't done too many spins on this bike. Dropping. Oh, that never gets old. It feels like the bike's not even gonna come around, and then at the last minute, you finally get your head around enough to see the ground, and there it is. That's awesome. Oh, that's an adrenaline rush right there. Can you film portrait mode and still see enough of the bike during tricks? Let's find out. Huge no-hander. Just look at that pure blue, no clouds, no rain. Sometimes you're wearing your helmet and filming with your GoPro when you're not riding your bike. And today we're gonna be on the tractor. This one's pumpkin digger. Let's go move that tree. Well, I had to come survey my work with the tractor, and I think that moved the tree perfectly out of the way. It's pushed up in the woods, and I have a good run into my jump again if I need to go top speed for something. I've also had a chance to review some of my footage from today, so let's talk about my thoughts about this chin mount. So here are my official thoughts. It's actually a really good mount between a chest mount and a visor mount. Kind of makes sense because it's literally where it's positioned is halfway between those two. So what I kind of noticed with having the camera on the chin mount is it still had a really good mix between the chest mount and the visor mount. You were still seeing a lot of the bike for tricks and stuff. You were still seeing a lot of the trail and all the area for just normal riding. And the good news is, because it was kind of down on the chin and kind of all the weight was going this way instead of down on the visor, the weight felt a lot more distributed on my head. So it didn't feel like I had a lot of extra mass that I was trying to turn with my head. And it didn't feel like my helmet was getting pulled down over my eyes as I rode for a while with the camera on. And I got the stabilized footage from being on my neck. I didn't have to deal with the camera flopping around on my chest. There were two downsides I noticed. First off, when I was just standing off the bike, the camera would hit my chest. And the other issue I had is because the chin kind of sticks out more than either your chest mount or a visor mount would. When I did the no-hander in portrait mode, you really couldn't see the tips of the bars. So filming in portrait mode with a chin mount might not be the best, but I don't film in portrait mode very often, so I'm incredibly happy with it. And I think that's gonna be my main mount going forward. So if you guys have learned anything about a chin mount, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, share this video with your grandmother, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.